Hi, it's Dave. So the following is a conversation that I just had with Fabia and Fatima. They have family who is stranded in Afghanistan trying to get out. And I've been corresponding with them via Clubhouse and Twitter and actually try to help their situation. I wanted to do a Skype call to hear more about what's going on and to see what I could help with. And after the Skype call, I actually share some real-time kind of post Skype call thoughts. Hope this is helpful. And I want to just appreciate all of you guys for being here, part of this journey.
Hello.
Hi,
Hi, Dev.
Hi, Fabia. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Okay, good. I'm sorry to hear about everything in the situation.
Thank you.
I understand how hard it is. I want to try to see what I could do to, help it all. I'm not sure if I can, but I think it's better for you to get your story out, and who knows, what can happen. So, how motivated is your family to try to get out?
Actually, I am a family of 12 right now. Like, my family sister is also with us because her husband is abroad as a refugee, and my other brother that I lost him in a bomb blast in Afghanistan. He has like 2 children and one wife. Like, they are with us, and my other brother. So my younger brother with my mom and others, they are like, they want to get out of there, like by border. But one of my brother, he is like, so what if we get there and we don't have any support, like to support us financially? And I told them I can like find some way to like, and then I keep pushing them like to just please go if there is a way, like. And then they also they are saying that, so because the banks are closed, they only have like 20K Afghani cash with them.
How much is
right
that?
now.
Like, how much is that worth? Like, U.S. dollars or Canadian dollars?
It's like maybe 300.
Okay.
Yeah. And like, that's not enough for all of them, like, because
Yeah.
then in the border you need to pay, like, for each person you need to pay 15 kaldar, Pakistani rupee. And like, I told them like, please, I told my brother, like, find some cash from others. And even now no one is like give you money, like, even if they are your family or friends. So I keep talking, and also like I talked tonight. So my brother said, okay, I'm waiting for they say that the bank will open on Sunday, so he's waiting to get some money, and then he decides to go and cross the border.
Got it.
I said, I told them, just get out of there. I can like find a way. For now I don't have any like work, because I'm a refugee claimant in Canada, and I don't have any work. And but like, yeah, I can, like, I have some friends here too, but for now I think it's just my only concern is, I'm worried that I just want them to get out of there, because even they don't have passports, unfortunately. They only have Tazkira, their ID. But I don't know like what to do. And also like the video you said, I don't know like what to include to that, and stuff. Do I need to tell all of my story? Because in my life, like, a lot of things happen, and that's enough, I think. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
How long have you been in Canada for?
it has been almost 2 years.
2 years. Okay.
Before I was in Hong Kong.
Hong
Yeah.
Kong. Okay. Are you by yourself? Is any of
Yeah.
your family with you?
No, I'm only by myself. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any family members outside of Afghanistan right now?
Only my cousins, but like they have their own family stuck in Afghanistan,
Got it.
so they cannot help me. Yeah.
Okay. And then how concerned is your family about like the Taliban and like being persecuted or killed later?
They are so concerned, and they are so worried, and they are lost, because they don't know what to do, because other people, they are leaving, they have passport, they are going to the airport. And my brother said, should I go, because everyone is going? I said, no, you cannot go, because you don't have any documents.
Yeah.
And also like because my two brothers, they were killed in bomb blast in Afghanistan because of the protest, and also my father was killed by Taliban just when I was 12 years old. We are so scared. We just moved from another province of Afghanistan like 12 years ago. I came to Kabul, seek for security and safety, but now like yeah, again it's happening.
Are they all how many members in your family there?
With my sister's family, they are 12.
12 people.
Four of them are children. They are like so young, like 5 years old, 2 years old, 1 years old.
Okay.
And yeah.
And then are they all in Kabul right now?
Yeah, they're all in Kabul.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then okay. Can they go together with Fatima's family?
Oh, no, because Fatima's family is already in the airport. I think they have their documents.
Yeah, I mean, if they change their mind. Yeah.
میتونه بره همراه خانواده فاطمه.
The thing is, they're gonna try their chances if they're gonna get to the passport, like to relocate. If not, that's like the backup plan.
Okay, for Fatima's family, that's their backup plan to cross the border. Yeah.
Okay.
But for my family, I asked my brother, please try this. Like this is the only way left for you guys.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, I'm sure you have more information in some ways. Like, you guys are thinking probably the border to Quetta, right? Down south that way, right?
Yeah, from Kandahar to Spin Boldak, and then yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, because I think the border to Peshawar is like you need documents, passport, visa to cross.
Yes. I think the legal border is closed now.
Yeah, and then even down south, I mean, who knows how long they'll let people in right now, without documents. So your brother's waiting for the bank. Does he have enough money if the bank opens to pull?
He doesn't have, but like it is enough like to cross the border.
Do they have any way to wire money? Like, do they have Western money order, like Western Union in
Before they used to get, but it's closed in Pakistan. Yeah, in Pakistan,
yes, but not.
Yeah.
Are you sure? Are you sure everything is closed? Like.
Yeah. I tried Western Union here, like to send some money, but like it's. Not working in Afghanistan. It's on hold for now. Yeah.
It says Western Union suspends services in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
It's too bad. Yeah. We need to, because if they wait till Sunday, that's still a while away. Like, and then who knows if the bank will really open on Sunday, and then the chances are the border down south might close, to people without documents, especially if more people go. It's like, how do they... Okay. Are there any other wire things? Like, let's see, MoneyGram in Afghanistan?
Yeah, I asked my brother. He said, like, there's no way.
There's no way.
Yeah.
I mean, one way, do they have enough money just to get to the border somehow?
Maybe. For now, they only have like that amount that I told you, and
can they sell anything? Do they have anything to sell?
No one is buying now. Yeah.
Are they just renting their house or apartment?
No, it's our own house.
I see, but no one.
Yeah.
Can they sell that? Like.
Not now.
No.
Yeah.
How much would that? How much in before? How much would that be worth in normal time? Their house.
Yeah, like they spend a lot of money on that, like maybe to maybe it's gonna worth like now it's gonna worth maybe $10,000.
10,000. Okay,
Yeah,
got it.
but also for now, like the other people are also living there because they rent that.
Got it.
Yeah.
I see. Um, yeah. I mean, I wish they could. I mean, I wish they could somehow, you know, like I would imagine that they could sell something. You know, do they have any? I mean, even their house, like there are some people who really like who like the Taliban and who might want to buy stuff, you know, right now in the
Yeah,
country.
other than the
Right?
house, I don't think they have
Uh,
any other valuable stuff
yeah,
to sell.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so you
Yeah.
think their house is maybe 10,000, but then there's some other people living there, you're saying?
Yes. At the same time, my other brother, he's like, okay, if you are leaving, I'm gonna stay with my wife and my children here, because he said that I don't know, I'm not sure if I get there, who is gonna support us, and
Yeah,
if you wanna go, you can go, the rest of the family,
I
and
see.
I don't know, like. And my other brother said I cannot convince them and I cannot like force them because
Yeah,
I asked them, let's go, please, let's go together. But like one of them is just like uh,
yeah.
he's worried like who's gonna support and stuff.
Um, does the rest of the family want to go, or what's the mood? Like, how many people in the family really want to go? How many people don't want to go?
Um, yeah, the rest of the family they willing to go. They're willing to go. Yeah.
Okay. Are you can you go to Pakistan yourself?
No, for now I'm a refugee claimant and I don't have any documents. Yeah,
Interesting. Okay. Do you know anybody in Pakistan?
I know. Yeah,
Oh,
some friends
where in Pakistan?
in Quetta.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay.
And also I meet them on Clubhouse.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you have any really good friends or people you trust
I think
in
so.
Qatar?
This one, yeah, I trust. They are from the same place that I am.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting. And you have how many people in the family?
Family of 12 for now.
12.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Um, okay. Okay, so here's an idea. Um, um, I mean, after they get to Pakistan, do you have a way to try to get them to Canada? Or is there any, like, I mean, can you, is there any process that you know about?
I hear that like that 20K people that Canada announced, they have to be out of Afghanistan. And but like I'm not sure about their eligibility because like they specified some groups.
Also,
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
No worries. Yeah.
hi Neil, how are you?
I,
Yeah, I just want to say the update that I got. They
yeah.
made that 20K. It's only for people that have, first of all, they're out of Afghanistan, and then they have a refugee status from UNHCR. So that's not for people who are gonna go now. They said like we don't have plan to evacuate people from Afghanistan directly. The exception is only for people who have like a close or tight connection with Canadian government, like as a worker, staff, things like that, interpreter, but not for other people.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Um, yeah, I mean, you've got a challenging situation because, um, so how much like, so your family, I guess, are they minority? The
Yes.
Hazara?
Shia Hazara.
Okay, sure, Hazara. And
Yeah.
um, Yeah. Because I mean, you can't force obviously your family or your brother if you know they don't want to come out,
Yeah.
and it might be hard to promise support, financial support outside the country because who knows what can happen. The path. Who knows? How long they need to stay in Pakistan for or somewhere else.
Right.
But I mean, if you're feeling passionate about it, and I think there might be only a short window, to go out before everything closes up. Especially if you don't have passports, like that's a tough one,
Yeah.
and visa. How about the person in Quetta, can they, if they have some, if they get some money, can they go and pick up your family in Kabul and bring them down?
The thing is, right now, before they used to, like, you could have a phone number, you could directly call people to pick up from your house. Because of the situation right now, that system is not working anymore. So you basically have to call the taxi or something, like say that, okay, I'm gonna go from here to there. And then they're gonna say, I'm sure they're gonna increase the price too, but that's the only way now.
Yeah, they increase it.
So I'm not talking about taxi. I'm talking about what if your friend in Quetta has some money and hires a van or driver and goes through the border to Kabul, picks up your family and brings them back down through the border. Like
that is not possible because for them, because they also Hazara, they have been displaced already, right? Like that risk is really hard to convince people. The only thing they could do is like once my family or our family are like close at the border of Pakistan, like that's only if they can, like, they could be willing to like pick them up from the border, but they cannot make it because it's such a like dangerous. You have to pass 2 provinces and then like
they're refugees. Do they know any Pakistani people that could help?
No, it's only Hazara areas, I think.
Quetta is Hazara, yeah. But if they go to Turkham area, that's a different story because there you could like give people money or like there's some sort of connection. Okay. But Quetta is different.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I wonder if if your connection or your friends in Pakistan somewhere, because if you can find someone trustworthy, like I'd be willing to give like let's say $5,000 to hire someone on the Pakistan side, right? Let's say a Pakistani who has like a van or something, and he could drive from Quetta or wherever into Kabul, pick up your family, right? Bring them back down to the border. See, here's the other thing. If your family is walking across the border, it's going to be more challenging because there's so many more people, trying to walk across the border.
They're all walking.
They're all walking.
But like under normal circumstances, like when people go from border, usually like they have, like I did that once. I had to change 4 cars.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
then you have to walk. Like you can't like go directly. But now I don't know if they have changed it because of the situation back in Afghanistan. But I doubt it. I'm not sure.
Yeah. So what you do is, if you could have the Pakistani driver and the van, if they could go pick your family up, take them through the whole border back, right? So they don't have to walk with other people. They could go through the border somehow in the van. And so here's one idea. So if you can find someone trustworthy in Pakistan, what we could do is
I can call and see if they're gonna work.
Okay, Fatima has a phone number. She's gonna call.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the idea is this, is like we can send money to Pakistan, right? Western Union or something. But what we could do is we give it has to be probably like a trustworthy Pakistani person, right? Who has a van or who could rent a van. We give them a certain amount of money up front.
Yes.
Right? And then we give them the rest of the money when the family comes back to Pakistan. Right? Mm-hmm. So that way there's motivation for the driver to finish the job, they just don't disappear,
Yeah.
but it might work if you can find the right person and if you could do it before the border closes, you know? Yeah.
I think that's a big risk for the Pakistani one because
Yeah.
like the situation is so bad. I don't think like they're gonna take that risk. But that's
in my experience, there's I've been to a lot of countries and a lot of crazy situations, a lot of refugee situations, and there's always some crazy people who are willing to do the crazy job for the right amount of money. It's really interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, there are some smugglers. Maybe like
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, from Afghanistan there are some. My brother said like we need to pay a lot. Like for example, if you need to like cross by yourself the border, you need to pay like 5,000 Afghani. But if you rent a smuggler or something, so you need to pay like 20,000 for each person.
How much is that in US dollar? 20,000.
20,000 is like maybe 150 or maybe even less. It could be like 100 like US dollar. Yeah.
I see.
Maybe 100, 200.
I see.
200. Yeah.
Kaldor is like half of Afghani, so I think it's 100 something.
Yeah.
The other option is, for example, if you could, if I could get some funds wired over to Pakistan, you can find someone in Pakistan to bring in the funds. If somehow your family can get the funds, whether or not it's in a Kabul or it's near the border, they could use those funds maybe to help them cross faster or easier, you know? But I mean, the problem is like getting them, something right now and then getting them across the border without any money right now that they have.
But the thing is, sorry, Lee, like last night we were on Clubhouse, we have some friends in Quetta, Pakistan. They said like so many family already come from that state, like that border, like without paying, obviously. I mean, they paid, but like they got through. But the thing is, that's like a day ago, so we don't know if that's still the case. I guess the most important case right now is just to be there, and like instead of investing money on other people, because like let's say it's gonna take around like 12 to 14 hours to go from Quetta to Kabul, so like. It would be more efficient if we find a car from Kabul to go to make that journey instead of waiting for another car to get there, because within that single car could go wrong, and also there could be blockage on the way. So I guess that option it sounds safer, but I don't think it's gonna work.
I mean, the problem though is it's hard to get money into Afghanistan right now, so it's hard to pay the driver.
The thing is, most of them, like, they get the money once they reach you to the destination, so it's not a requirement.
That's true.
And also some, like, they already have some money, so they can say, like, if they say that you have pay up front, they're like, okay, I have this much, and then the other one, I can give you when I get there, plus because the banks are closed. So I guess that's, as soon as they make that decision, get on the call, I think the risks are, like, kind of, it requires planning, but it's doable.
I mean, if they could find someone, in Kabul to take them, from there, that's great. Another option is it doesn't even have to be Quetta. It could be even Peshawar, because that's a closer border. They could, if you have anyone in that area, Pakistani or whoever, that can cross over, the border there into Kabul. Maybe it'll take 5 or 6 hours or something, and then they can go from Kabul. Then they can go from Kabul down to the border, and then to Quetta down south.
To Kabul, I know it's not closed. It's open, but it's just I think they require documents, of course. But at the same time, they are really die for money kind of thing. I don't know how much you know about Pakistan. I guess if you give money some sort of bribing, it may work. But it's not guaranteed. Because like last time when I went to Afghanistan, I already paid money, everything. It took me like 8 hours to cross the border, like from that Turkhan area. It was like under so-called normal circumstance. And because when we look, they already know like you're Hazara, like you're from that country. So it's I think that's
all right, guys. I can't tell you what to do, but I could offer some help in terms of finances. But the problem is, how can we get that finances, through? We can right now only send stuff to Pakistan, it seems like, right? Maybe
Yeah,
through
for sure.
Western Union, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, if you guys, if it can help, at all, let me know. That's definitely something I want to help with, if possible. If that can help either one of your guys' families. Um,
Yeah.
and if it needs something else, let me know. I mean, if you guys find any more information too.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
just like saw a news about like not Pakistan, India electric visa. I sent you
yeah,
the link on Twitter. I don't know how reliable is that because there's so many news and we
yeah.
don't know.
I
Right.
think, yeah, I think you guys should. Okay, so um, I think you guys should put in all your family members into that India visa program. So I've heard several, people talking about it. The emergency, e-visa for India. But if you can apply for that,
Mm-hmm.
if you can get some type of receipt or confirmation and send that to your family members, so that at the Pakistan border, see, the problem with Pakistan is when more people come, they don't want to be flooded with refugees from Afghanistan. But if the refugee says, hey, I'm just passing through Pakistan, right? Here's my visa to India, right? Just let me go through, then they maybe have more chance, of getting through.
And also there's I don't know because I don't know how much because before my sister-in-law,
Hmm.
she used to live in Pakistan and like it was extremely hard to get a visa for India because when she had the Pakistan or vice versa,
Yeah,
because there's like very like huge tension between them.
yeah,
So I don't know if that's gonna work in our favor or the other way around.
yeah.
But at the same time, because now things are changing, maybe they are more human. I guess I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah. I think it's fine. I mean, there's obviously India doesn't like Pakistan and vice versa, but right
Yeah,
now they're opening to Afghanistan. So if you have an Afghan
yeah,
passport, it looks
maybe
like,
that work. Yeah, I guess
yeah.
that's a good idea.
But look into it and apply as fast as you can for all of your family members, so that they could, if as a backup, we need more backup plans. Like, so for example, if they get to the border, they could show, the emergency e-visa, say to India if possible. Even Fatima, your family, like at the airport, the more visa, more information things they have, the better, right? If they have Pakistan
Yeah.
visa, if they have India visa or whatever, the more things is better. Yeah.
Yeah, I think for them, like the ones who are waiting, four of them already, like there's 15, like 19 in total.
Yeah.
So like four of them already went back home. My
Yeah.
sister-in-law and they are waiting. They're, I think, waiting till tomorrow and see if there's any chance.
Yeah.
And then like after that, I guess my like the six people who have visa, I will. I mean, the best option is like sending them through Turkham.
Yeah.
And I don't know how they're gonna check everyone. So like if they show the six people that they have visa, they can show it first. Probably
Yeah.
they're not gonna check everyone. So that's a possibility.
That's
But
possible. Yeah. 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 Does your family have enough money to make it down?
the thing is like because we just built a house like 2 years ago or
Mm,
something and it was 5 floors so it costed us a lot and
yeah.
also the money a little bit that my sister-in-law had they leased the house and they paid like $8,000 or something. There's no another tenant for them to come and give the money
I
and the
see.
banks are also closed. So I guess for now once they get to Pakistan of course I will need financial stuff but as of now I'm not sure how because there's no way that I can do it. No one can
Yeah.
spend money there. So I think
Yeah.
once they are out of the after out of Afghanistan, I think at that time I would need some, but
Yeah. Yeah.
because it's like family of 19, so and I like yeah, at that time I could make that arrangement as soon as they get on the car. I could plan ahead because I know some people like my sister-in-law's family are in Quetta, Pakistan.
Oh,
So
really? Wait,
they
your sister-in-law's family is in Quetta?
yeah, like her sister, like her mom, like sister and those one, they're in
Oh,
Quetta.
okay.
Yeah, so and he has a huge like family member there. So in that case, I could make arrangements for them to send money already, like
Yeah, yeah.
and then only if they get on the car and they say like, okay, we are on the car going to the border. But
Yeah.
without that, no one can do it, of course.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. All right. All right, guys. I just got off this phone call. Let me take this Skype thing off. So these guys, these folks. So I hosted a Clubhouse audio room a few days ago, and I was talking with, on Twitter via DM with a person who was trying to help get refugees out, and Fatima, who was the second lady in the conversation, she was in the Clubhouse room, and we ended up talking for about almost an hour, and her story really just hit home because her almost entire immediate family, her parents, I think 5 sisters, etc., are all in Kabul, and they were right about to leave to Pakistan. They had plane tickets and visas already planned, actually days before, to leave on August. It was, I think, 16th or something. And that was the day that the Taliban took over. Chaos erupted on the airport, and they were at the airport and everything just blew up and they couldn't board their flight and they had to go back home. And so they were that close to getting out, and now they're stuck. And it's, Fatima's story is this family is in Kabul, and they're scared because they're ethnic religious minority. They have some connections to foreign organizations in the past, etc. So they're very, very scared in harm's way, and they're trying to get out. And the U.S. has something called SIV. It's a special immigrant visa for those who have helped the U.S. During their time in Afghanistan. One of the family members qualified and so applied and got a email back from the State Department saying, "Oh, go to the airport. Here's a pass," but it was kind of a generic pass. It didn't have their personalized name. Go to the airport. We can't assure your safety there, but once you get there, you could board a plane, etc. So they took that email and the generic pass. It was from the state government, in reply to their SIV application. They took it to the airport. This was yesterday, and they weren't able to get past, the Taliban checkpoints or even close to the gate of the airport. There were just too many people at the airport, and they weren't letting people in, or that many people in. And they stayed all day, and they were freaked out because there were a lot of shootings, a lot of chaos, a lot of people, a lot of desperate people. And they have 12 people in their family. 8 people decided to go, or 4 people decided to go back home. They live an hour from the airport. 8 people remained or so. And they're remaining through the night. So right now, as I record this, they're actually staying up in the middle of the night outside Kabul's airport. And they're trying to get out of the country, right? And they're not able to get through. And so this morning, and yesterday, actually, all through yesterday and this morning, I was corresponding with as many people on Twitter. I'm trying to find on the ground information. I'm trying to find people who are helping people escape. So I'm talking and DMing reporters, people at the airport, people at the borders. I'm trying to figure out what can people do. Where is it safe? How can we help people get out? And so, I've been doing that this morning. There's a journalist named Melissa Chen who had on her Twitter feed saying that she has some contacts with the State Department. And if people needed help, to contact her with the people, the info of the people in Afghanistan. And so I went ahead and did that, sent all the information for this family to her in hopes that it could reach the State Department. So there's a caveat here that this family in Afghanistan, Fatima's family, they heard that one of their friends, actually families, were able to get through the airport checkpoints. And the way they did it is they actually got a call from the State Department, and they got an email with actually a personalized pass that had their names on it. And this is, I guess, a different level of pass, and they were able to actually get through the Taliban checkpoints with this personalized pass. And so I'm hoping that, the State Department can, expedite the process, especially with this contact, to get this personalized pass to this family, to get them to be able to get through the checkpoints into the airport before it's too late. And then you have other families. So the person I talked with in this Skype call is Fatima's friend. Her name is Fabia. And it turned out that Fatima was over at Fabia's house at this time. And I was meaning to talk with her and call her today. I've been chatting with her yesterday and via Twitter. And it turns out her family doesn't have passports. And her family doesn't have much money either, right? They have $300. How are you supposed to travel 10 or 12 hours? Like, that's not even going to probably get you anywhere. And all the banks are closed. And if they wait till Sunday, that's like another 4 days or so. Like, who knows what's going to happen to the borders if they're going to close up too. So right now, there are different ways that possibly might be out. I don't even know the full situation. I'm like desperately trying to contact people on the ground, figure out what's going on. But there's a border that goes out to the east, and it's from Kabul to Peshawar, which is kind of a major city. And you go about 4 or 5 hours from Kabul, and you can go through Peshawar. It's a major border crossing, and they're letting people in, but you need a passport and you need a Pakistani visa to get through. So that's the problem. Even if you have a passport, you need a Pakistani visa. How do you get that? That's a challenging thing to get. Now there's a border down south more, and it's going to the city of Quetta in Pakistan. Now that border, supposedly up until a couple of days ago, they were actually letting people through on foot, Afghans who just had their national ID card. Now, I don't know if that situation has changed, because every day, every hour, things can be changing. And the more people are escaping through that route, there's going to be more pressure for the Pakistani government to maybe actually close that border off, require passports, require visas, etc. Right? And so there's a small window of opportunity maybe that you can actually escape through that border, possibly, right? But the problem is with Fabia's family in this situation, her family doesn't have the money even to get to the border, and then to cross the border is another challenge, and then they have nothing, or maybe they have some friends actually in family, or they have to figure out how to survive in Pakistan. Lots of questions, and there's even disagreements within the family. Fabia's family is also a minority, Shia Hazara, and that the Taliban has persecuted in the past. And yeah, I mean, a lot of this stuff, there's also the US and NGOs and groups has been in Afghanistan for so long. There's a lot of connections that people have, maybe working with different groups, et cetera, that can actually incriminate them, right? Later as well. And then you have this other story, right, of Fabia's friend, who has 32 people in her family, and barely, their family doesn't have the money on hand to even, and banks are closed. And these are at a complete loss of what to do right now, right? And I think another ethnic minority, religious minority there. So you've got a pretty crazy situation here. I don't know, what to do, and a lot of the organizations are in chaos right now. They don't know what to do. They're all trying to figure out on the ground information. They're getting hundreds of requests. So yesterday, I'm trying to recruit people to help in whatever way possible. So there's a coalition called the Coalition of Wartime Heroes, led by Matt Zeller. And he's been on media kind of really advocating on behalf of the US not ditching and leaving behind these wartime allies, but bringing them, along. And he's been on media, and this organization, they're having a hard time, with web stuff. They're wanting to get more information, more data out to help their message. And so they wanted volunteers, or they wanted actually a company to help. So I contacted them, offered my services with my software company, and, throw in a developer or two. And I asked my followers, right, who could help. And I got about 30 different people to volunteer, because I asked for really specific kind of, skill set. And out of that, I picked 3 people that were just top notch. It was Kevin, Long, and David. David Curry. And those three joined me on a meeting with one of the key members of the coalition who's in charge of all their content and website. And, we spent about an hour and a half talking with them and two other of the coalition members, offering help. And so these three people from, my network are basically, offering help and corresponding and trying to help them with data and web stuff. And hopefully that can help them in any way to get the message out and help people get out. But they're being flooded with tons of requests, right? I got a message from them saying like, hey, their founders' Facebook page is just blowing up. Like, how do they even manage all the messages? And the emails are just blowing up. They can't even respond to most of the emails. Like over 90% just get left unanswered because they don't have the manpower. So crazy stuff, a lot of chaos going on, and the days are limited in a number of in ways of how much opportunity there is, before things start shutting down, and it gets harder and harder, right, to leave the country, I think. And then you've got a lot of people who are marked. These people have worked for the U.S. We have Fatima's, brother's family who's, there has a lot of connections with different NGOs and U.S. related groups. And so this is pretty urgent, right? This stuff is like, it's not going to be pretty after the Taliban completely seize control and start to, do their cleansing in a sense, or their basically reformation of society, right? And it's going to get messy, in my opinion. This is what people, some people in Afghanistan, they're confused because they're like, oh, maybe it'll be better because there's peace, because it's a war-torn country for 20 years. And a lot of times people just want that to end. And so they're thinking maybe this is a good thing. But on the flip side, a lot of people understand what the ideology of the Taliban is, and this is going to be a harsh regime, right? This is not going to be something where personal liberties, right, are espoused and protected. And so it's a complicated situation. And my whole kind of take on this is, hey, if there's a way where, I can do something that can help one person evacuate that needs to evacuate, right? They're really in harm's way, but wouldn't have evacuated or wouldn't been able to be evacuated unless it was through some extra effort or through some extra funds or whatever, then that's well worth, right, my time or energy and resources. And so that's kind of my perspective. And this is why this has been so passionate, of an item for me this past week. On Twitter, you can follow me at HeyDave7. I asked people, I've said, hey, I'm willing to commit, 50,000 to any effort that can legitimately help even just one more if Afghanistan escape that wouldn't have normally been able to escape, right? And they can use that, and I can vet that effort. And so that offer still stands. I'm willing to up that offer significantly as well. And I've received probably inbound inquiries from people on Twitter who want to join that effort. So I've got about 50 people, or 50 or 60 people who have offered another 50,000 plus total for efforts that can directly do that. And I don't know exactly, if those funds or how those funds are going to be used, but as you've seen in this video, it's like we've got to think outside the box in some ways, right? It's not like the key thing actually isn't really per se only the funds, because you can't even get the funds into Afghanistan mostly, right, through traditional means. Like, you've got to think outside the box. And then it's very complicated because there's a lot of things going on, right? And it's like people don't know the exact future, right? And you could be an outsider trying to project and tell people stuff, but they need to also understand and have their own convictions as well. But I think, in this time of crisis, and that's the thing, this is going to be an ongoing thing in some ways, where we're going to start to hear more and more about the abuses that come out of Afghanistan with Taliban rule for many decades, in my opinion. And it's going to be something that is just a generational tragedy in some ways. Now, I'm not trying to be political. I'm not trying to say the U.S. should have stayed or got out or whatever in any way. What I'm saying, though, is that, as the U.S. pulls out, there's this this group of vulnerable people who are in harm's way. They're the religious minority. They're the people who helped the U.S., right, fighting alongside and in different roles. And these are the women who are outspoken in very public roles, right? Journalists, musicians, art, people in influence in government, etc. People with, LGBTQ, different things like that are going to get persecuted, and it's fairly obvious what's going to happen. And so the whole issue is like, what can we do in these last remaining days to help, those who are desperate to get out? I just received a DM last night from someone saying their family is stuck in Afghanistan. They're Christian and they're hiding out, scared out of their life because they don't know what to do. Right? They have no information. And that's a tough one. It's a very, very tough situation there. The way I look at it is the next days, it's going to be very intense and things are going to change very drastically each day. It's already a difficult situation because a lot of people outside of Kabul can't even get to Kabul if they wanted to go to the airport. And at the airport, people aren't even able to get into the airport. It's just like the U.S. is losing their ground, right, completely. It's already becoming like a tragedy in the making already. And then the question is, what can we do to salvage just whatever we can? And, I think there are some possibilities if the U.S. government and if governments do some type of radical decision to say, hey, we're going to make a stand for a certain, a couple weeks, extend our thing outside of the airport at least to get people in, right? There are precedents for this. British and French troops supposedly just got in yesterday or something to go out of the airport to make way for their citizens to get in, right? So, there's ways where, if pressured, right, the government can make, I think, better decisions. But overall, I'm not sure what to do. I'll just go ahead and continue to do what I'm doing. My DMs are open. I'm going to be chatting with people who have family in Afghanistan. Got several requests, trying to help them, connect them with the right people, if at all possible, help with funds if they make sense, right? I'm going to vet these opportunities and the people. If you want to join along and help, go ahead. And the best way is DM me rather than a general request, but DM me something really specific, saying, something like, hey, I'm willing to donate X amount if it's the right opportunity or something to really help person evacuate. I'm not even sure if I'm able to find all the opportunities, but at least it's like I'm keeping a list, right? I might make some type of email list or something, or I don't know, email list or a group or something to keep people updated. The other thing is, I'm kind of overwhelmed with all the inquiries and the fact finding and stuff, and I'm needing more help to get the information. Like, where do people go? Which borders are open? How do people get to the borders? Is it safe to get to the borders? What's the situation right now? Are they letting people without visas, without passports through the border? But which borders are they doing that? And I need contacts of people who are actually getting people in and out, like actually finding creative ways to get this done, not just, saying that things should get done, but actually getting it done. That's what we need. We need to get these things done. So any contacts with people who are doing that on the ground, reporters on the ground who can give me information, all that stuff is going to be invaluable. But anyways, I had this thought this morning, like, what's the point of having a network? What's the point of having a YouTube channel with like over 100,000 subscribers, a Twitter following of almost 100,000, and even having some financial resources if I'm not going to try to use it for good at times of what I think generational crisis, right? And, I'm not trying to turn everything into this moral story or whatever, but there are times in history where there's a window where it really radically changes a person's life. And I shared this in my last video where it's like, a decision from my father's family, someone in that family, he was living. So I found out some more information. He was living with his entire extended family for like a decade or so, with his parents, grandparents, uncles, and everything. And that whole family actually left North Korea. So they were actually in the northern part, just kind of north of the border. There's a city above the border, and they were able to leave North Korea after the Soviets took over in World War II, and they were able to move south. But that one decision by someone in that family, basically changed the whole trajectory of everyone in that generation, right? Including myself and my kids, and even the opportunity and the ability to share with you guys here. And so it's like there's something like what do you say? What do you call it? Cosmic in the scale of implications, right? That certain decisions have, and that's where I'm like, there are certain times where things happen where it can make a cosmic generational difference, from people. Think about it, like with Fatima, her friend's family, like we're talking about over 50 people, maybe 70 people just within these three families. And think about their kids and their kids' kids and the impact things are going to have. I don't even know if they're going to be able to get out, right? What's going to happen? I mean, this is pretty crazy. And these are just three families out of how many that are out there. All right, guys. I don't want to leave things in too much of a sober note, but yeah, on the flip side, I think it's wise to not get. It's wise to have this is how I view it, to have a open embrace of people and to really, empathize and to, feel what's going on. But, on one side, we need to keep hope. I think there's some people and some tendency to lose hope, to get cynical and to get depressed. But that's the light in this world, is to keep that hope, right? That with that hope, we can make a difference by trying, by doing the right thing, by extending that hand, right? In whatever way we can, we're trying to do that right thing. And that type of spirit, of that type of conviction and character is like what's needed, in my opinion. And whether I'm able and you together with me and this network here, we're able to save, one person or more, I don't know. But, I want to be at least in that position where it's like, hey, we tried what we could, we tried something, we did something, and to at least leave that legacy behind. So anyways, just food for thought. I want to thank you and give you my appreciation for those who are joining in this journey through many things on my channel, right? Through many interviews, through many topics, through life together. And just wanted to wish you guys all the best. All right, see you guys in my next video. Thanks.